Welcome back. Welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro studio on the road. I'm on the road actually, so you notice my background is not the same. You can see my people want to see my face more, so now you can see my face better. But anyway, welcome back to
Yeah.
Sharp Edge News TV. I'm glad that we can still bring this live to you from the road. And we have some lined up topics for you today, some headlines to cover today. I want to say welcome to the High Chief Oladimeji Abitogun, the editor-in-chief publisher, SharpEdgeNews.com. Welcome, sir.
Always my pleasure. Thanks for
Yeah.
bringing me back.
Awesome.
And
Great.
to thousands of our viewers out there, good to join you. Um, Thank you very much.
Thank you. Awesome. Welcome. All right. So, uh, well, earlier on when we were preparing for the show, you're about to tell me something. As always, but I did you, yeah, on the show. Let me. But this is your opportunity now. We're going to talk about this. But funny enough, I did dig up some stuff on this story. Nigeria, QATAR sign agreements on education, solid minerals, or others. Um, and this is a story earlier on Punch Nigeria. And just the first few paragraphs, it said President Bola Tinubu on Sunday in Doha said Nigerian youth are worth every investment as they are educated, reliable, and proactive. He argued that a few bad eggs cannot be a yardstick for gauging the capacity of the majority, who he said are ready to be unleashed for the mutual benefit of both nations. This is quite a far stretch from the previous rhetoric from the previous Nigerian president, President Buhari, who said, I forgot the exact verbatim, but he said
Yeah,
something about
talking
lazy
about
youth.
Nigerian lazy youth.
Aha. So this is quite a far stretch from that reality, but I guess we're in a different place. But you were trying to tell me something. Now the question I have for you is that did you were saying something to the is he stealing Showore's revolutionary talking point? What's going on?
Yes, there is that phrase. Let's zoom on the phraseology that was used by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu while speaking here earlier today from Doha, uh, Qatar. He was talking of Nigeria's readiness to revolutionize the way we do business. I'm just paraphrasing. That's not the way he put it exactly. If you get that, if you can pull up that speech, you will see it there. So
Okay.
the word that was seen as a kind of anathema, a curse, during the time of, in all the 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari's misrule as
Mm-hmm.
APC's presidential uh, person, the man that was really calling the tough one, not really there because for the most part, he was always somewhere or the other attending to his health challenges or whatever he was doing. He was never transparent, and he spoke to Nigerians in uh, what you call it, in filters. It was
Mm.
always somebody. Yeah, Buhari hardly connected with the people of Nigeria. He was so aloof. He was always away on the job. So this is quite different. The words that were never, the words that were never tolerated, or that particular word,
Mm-hmm.
revolution, for which uh, Omoyele Sowore was castigated, for which he
Right.
was incarcerated, for which he became uh, an, a haunted head, now became what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu embraced today in Qatar, saying Nigeria was ready for business, open for business.
Mm.
However, the downside of all that was that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was signaling any intending international investor, particularly from Qatar, Qatari people, that
Uh-huh.
if they run into any obstacle, if they run into any obstacle in the course of doing business in Nigeria, if anyone, for that matter, will be demanding bribe, that they should feel
Mm.
free to call him. That
Mm.
is like a no-no there, because you and I, even you, all of that was born in America here, although Nigerian American, do you have the privilege of placing a call straight to the President of the United States of America like that? When African
No.
immigrants like us come into town, we know how we have to be on the queue, and you can be on that queue forever before opportunities open up for you in most places. So in several places, Nigerians and African immigrants are treated as if um, they really do not belong in the calculus of things. So now the president is giving them a blank check. There will be offices, there will be persons, there will be officials to be called. There are institutions, or unless Tinubu wants to transmogrify to a strong man instead of developing strong institutions. That is how, I mean, that is the only reason why he want to put himself on the line like that, that people should place calls straight to him. That is not good for the image of Nigeria. It's not going to just be a situation in which any Tom, Dick, and Harry can place a call to the president of the most populous black nation on the face of the earth. You know, yes, we don't want people talking to him in filters, or he talking to us through filters. Filters that you remember were like Femi Adesina and the other guy that came with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and forgot himself amongst the crowd of Buhari's acolytes, Shehu Garba. You know, such individuals who were always short-circuiting what the president had to say, never allowing the president to talk to the citizens directly. Those people will be taken out of the way. Nigeria can run smoothly. Nigeria is open for business, like he said, but those things still raising doubts as to the safety of people's investment, like the crackdown on certain international business executives that were allegedly taken hostage by the administration concerning the round-tripping of foreign exchange in Nigeria. Those kind of things send wrong signals as to the terms of doing business in Nigeria. And I've told you my own personal experience, how I was treated by the Akeredolu administration in Ondo State, putting good money to erecting my media center in Akure. What someone else did to me in Lagos, that person serves as a member of, as a lady member of House of Representatives today in Nigeria from Lagos. So you find all these kind of characters all over the place, and they believe they're above the law. We hope this time around, Tinubu will not operate like that. That said, let me respect time. Let me yield, and then we take on another topic.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. I mean, I think personally, I think as long as there's a way Yoruba that keeps coming to my mind right now.
Yoruba proverb.
Yoruba proverb that kept coming to me now, like Karo Dimasho. Karo Shomodi.
You can wrap the cloth around your waist, and you can put your waist around. Just make sure you are not parading a naked butt.
Right. As long as we're moving in the right direction, it's all good. Anyway.
Yeah, and by the way, like Bola Tinubu is saying that people can place calls to him. You know that the feedback mechanism that a nation operates to would matter. For example, there is the Minister of Information. There is the lame duck, never do anything institution like the National Orientation Agency, well funded. Right. If they are claiming they are not well funded, fine for them. But what we're saying is that with even the little that is coming, these people should make themselves visible. And you do all this, you talk about all this, they are not respecting the media, they are not respecting all the institutions that should make them to be well and alive. For example, look at the stories we ran on Nigerian Correctional Service the other day. Till today, the rains are here now in Nigeria. Those people that have been displaced around Airport Road, those correctional service officials, in spite of all the money being checked off on all these Nigerian public workers, nobody is attending to them. Olubunmi Ojo, the Minister of Internal Affairs, carries on as if this does not bother on the internal security of Nigeria or Nigerians. So these are the things we must appreciate, we must talk about, unless they are willing to take on the tremendous challenge of governance and leadership. All these international marketing, we would not achieve anything. So we will talk more about the correctional service shenanigan or shenanigans there next week in our special our special reports.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right. Awesome. So do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, and turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. We'll be back in about 20 seconds. Welcome back. We're going to play this short video. Sanwo-Olu test runs red line train. Exciting commute ahead. It's a question. Let's play the video and we'll be back in a second. Let's see.
Rail line built by the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority is ready for inauguration. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy Kadri Hamzat, the managing director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, some state executive council members, and the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Enforcement Agency are out to inspect the infrastructure facilities of the Red Line station. The team embarked on a train ride from the Ikeja Mega Station, viewing Agbado, Agege, and Iju stations while on the test drive. While on board, Governor Sanwo-Olu moved along the coaches in a bid to ascertain the conditions. The train set of Talgo wagons built in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the United States.
All right, so I just wanted to cover that really quickly. Is this a good way forward? Infrastructure? Yeah, I think also President Tinubu also went to take a test drive also during the week. What's your take on this? Is this Buhari money? Buhari loans? Are we spending Buhari loans right now? Is it going well?
No. I think the facility, I mean the financial backing, the loan for this was directly probably sourced by Lagos state government and may have been guaranteed by the federal government as is the standard practice. But let me tell you that yes, some excitement in the air because it's not every news about Nigeria that should be that gloomy. But one thing we must realize is that words, I mean, some bit of misinformation there. These are people that are, spending tremendous amount of money saying they are combating fake news. And what they sometimes perpetrate against the people of Nigeria is absolute garbage of misinformation and disinformation. I mean, they're talking of inauguration. What were they inaugurating, really? They should have advertised this. They should have publicized this as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, coming into town to turn the sword on what is, and instead of putting in millions into organizing a sharing crowd, this could also have been flagged off from the office of the governor of Lagos State. People, this what they are doing by international standard is no longer fashionable. You prop up a huge crowd of people. You are playing to the gallery, something that is reminiscent of Uganda in the days of Idi Amin, when somebody as head of state, military head of state, would organize a sharing crowd and bring out the accordion and dance.
Right. So you're saying they did a poor job in promoting this.
The promotion, the optics, it's not really too convincing. When it comes, it comes. I mean, don't forget, this is built to assist about 500 people, 500,000 Lagosians to commute every day. Good,
Right.
I mean, staggering number, but we must learn not to count our eggs before they are hatched. We shouldn't be counting our chickens before they are hatched. This is what they are doing. And this did not start during this Fourth Republic dispensation. It's something that had been in the works since the days of the late Governor Kayode Lateef Jakonde. Something that was stopped when Buhari and his military misadventurers seized power in 1983, December 31st, 1983 in Nigeria. So it was a vision that was aborted. Good that the current civilian politicians were able to re-event, repackage, and they have brought it back. Fine. But we should wait first. Let it be working. At a point, the blue line that was, the blue line that was ready, which they advertised as being ready, we found out that it was not really working regularly. Like they advertised it, and they were powering it with generating sets, huge industrial generating sets. That's what they allege. I don't want to say what is not true, what is not factually correct, but they should put all the necessary infrastructures in place, including constant electricity supply. You don't want to be transporting Nigerians, because these days when you hear the news of Nigerians getting killed or dying by mishap, like it recently happened in an hospital facility in Lagos where young doctors got killed. People move on as if life do not matter. Nigerian lives do matter. And so as we proceed, it must be with some degree of caution, and we should know that everything should be done to make sure that this is safe for the people to ride on, because we cannot continue as if government is just for the purposes of just being there, and that people, safety of lives and properties do not count. No, this must mean something. So the people who come out, trooping out, clapping and all that, they should wait until this runs smoothly before we can say, yes, it is Uhuru. Yes.
Yeah, but President, so, okay, until it runs smoothly, okay, but they still have to do some kind of inauguration, though, when they launch something of this magnitude.
Inaugurating what? The others, they said they were, they said they were commissioning. You don't need a huge crowd to get these things done these days. They want to save costs. This is a country with a wire economy at the moment. They should learn to save costs. They don't need that huge crowd to get it going. Good job that they are focused on what they want to do. I do not condemn that. I do not criticize that. But constructively, they must manage their anticipation. They must manage their successes. They must make sure that things birth successfully before we begin to roll out the drums for celebrations. What are we celebrating? And then why putting so many lights? Look at the inconvenience that the people of Lagos suffered just because President Ahmed Bola Tinubu was coming to come to inaugurate. Yeah,
I know. Those are some things they should be managing.
Wherever Tinubu went last week, whether Akure to see Baba Fashionati or to
went to go
say
see
hello to the family of Akeredolu, But by the way, yes, it is good to commiserate with that family, but people are also looking at the whole thing. Akeredolu ran on those states with his family first as the defining interest. Tinubu too has taken his two adult children alongside his other minders to QATAR. So some things that really make them to flock together. They should begin to define their vision, make the people of Nigeria the center of the policies they are unveiling, which they run. Yes.
100%. Well, let us know your thoughts. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, and follow so you can be notified whenever we go live. But use the comment area. Let us know your thoughts. We'll be back in 20 seconds.
Of today originated, was engineered, fabricated, and sustained by the Buhari administration. The Buhari administration institutionally, fundamentally destroyed the Nigerian economy. And then when Tinubu took over power, and he knows that there is not going to be subsidy, and to be realistic, he was very frank during his campaign. He said, I am going to remove subsidy, and whatever protest that will come out of it, I will not back down. This is all on record. And then people went ahead and voted for him. So he has not deceived Nigerians. Now he is in power. So we are paying the price for the mistakes of the past, for the failure of the past, and for what we refused to do in the past. So this is reality. Labour has the right to protest, but Nigeria should not fear Labour protests. The protest that should be feared is the one that will be organized by unorganized civil society. Labour protest comes with notice and comes with specifications and comes with control. We are going to have a protest and it's going to last for 2 days and we are going to lead it and we're going to call for its suspension.
Say that again, sorry. Yeah. This is not labor oriented at all.
I know.
All right. So, Shehu Sani.
The former Senator
Sani.
Right. He's a known quantity when it comes to civil society organization and resistance from Kaduna in Nigeria. Yes.
So he's blaming Buhari for Nigeria economy woes today, and Nigeria is paying for his mistakes. You agree? Yes. You disagree? There's nuances. Please talk to us.
The truth of the matter is that we must give the Senator Shehu Sani due credit, because he spoke up even while Buhari was in office. He spoke up. He was originally voted into the National Assembly on the platform of APC, but the moment he got there and he saw the way they were going, that these people were not really on the same page with the vast majority of the Nigerian citizens, the voters. He fell out with them, and the little finger of Kaduna State then, Governor El-Rufai, did everything to make sure that Shehu Sani never returned to the National Assembly as a senator. He frustrated him, and Shehu Sani left APC and joined another party. And he has not been able to make a successful bid to stage a comeback as a lawmaker. But he remains a solid voice of courage who stands a cautionary note to Nigerians every time, every opportunity he has. And really, I share the same sentiment. Remember, we mentioned this a few weeks back on our program here, that when hunger begins to... there, I refer to the original title of the book by Richard Rice in America, the one that is known as Black Boy, that the original title was American Hunger. That was what was changed. And when hunger stares somebody in the face, whether it was the experience that was recorded in Russia, the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, the one that was witnessed in medieval Europe, England, 12th century through 13th century. You don't need anybody telling you before you want to embrace civil disobedience. Yes, he struck it aptly when he said the labor movement demonstrations were, they were guided and they were guarded. This time around, and this is something I've always paid attention to about the way Nigerian labor movement, Nigerian workers' leadership, the way they organize their protests. I remember as a reporter in those days in Abuja, whenever Adams Oshiomhole led the workers to the street, there was a day I had reported the negotiations, something that went into the wee hours of the day. These negotiations were not concluded until around 4 a.m. in Aso Rock. How those conclusions were drawn, the gains and the benefits of it all were shrouded in secrecy. And Nigeria, even since that 1999-2000 labor protest, still continues to battle the problem of fuel subsidy. Here we are today. So until what this man is cautioning us about may be comparable to what happened during the EndSARS protests, nobody could identify the arrowhead of that demonstration. 1989 anti-SARP riot in Nigeria, the government pinned some stuff on the late Dr. Taishola Ani of Mayflower to Ikene. He was blackmailed. They brought out so-called copies of Ebony magazine, which they were said to have copiously copied on the scandals of the first family, then the Babangidas. This time around, those protests were spontaneous. 1989 anti-SARP thing. That was what eventually spearheaded the resistance to 1993 June 12 election annulment.
SARP was a structural
adjustment program. There was this back and forth. They manipulated Nigerians to debate through the political bureau stuff whether they should take IMF loan, whether there should be, at the end of the day, through the back door. They never told Nigerians the reforms that were going to be introduced would still be the same thing, but garnished the other way around. And then we find ourselves marching on the street. We were there in our younger days as a student, going into the university.
Right.
This thing that Shehu Musa is warning about, Shehu Sani is cautioning about, may come when nobody anticipates.
And just to be clear, what is he warning about?
The spontaneous reaction of the people, which is something
of the people
that may be a mob, the uncontrollable mob taking over everything and then tearing down the system. And that word, which has been dropped in another circumstance in QATAR earlier today by President Bola Tinubu, will become very active. The word that Omoyele Sowore had thrown around for some time, revolution now, or what have you, change of attitude, change of orientation, leadership set, paradigm shift, value change, and all that. Change of ethics. That may be a reality when this, but are Nigerians really ready for that? You said it the other day that you don't really see Nigerians being ready. But when they are ready, they will be ready.
When they're ready, they'll be ready. There you go.
That's right.
Yep. All right, awesome. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow so you're notified whenever we go live. We'll be back in 20 seconds.
The legal fireworks over the treasonable charges preferred against the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra resumed today at the Federal High Court. The prosecution and defense in the trial rejigged their legal teams. The new counsel to the IPOB leader, Mr. Aloy Ejimako, asking the court to grant bail to the client, basing his argument on the health status of Mr. Kanu, stating that the Department of State Services, where Mr. Kanu is being currently held, lacks the facility to attend to Mr. Kanu's heart condition. However, the new legal team of the federal government, led by Mr. Adegboyega Awomolo, object to the bail application on the ground that Mr. Kanu once jumped bail and fled from the country. Mr. Awomolo further argues that all the bail conditions previously set by the court was breached and violated by Mr. Kanu before he was rearrested. The IPOB also asks the court to discontinue his trial until certain conditions are met by the federal government. Mr. Kanu, in his preliminary objection, requested that the DSS operatives be barred from interfering with his lawyers during visitation, in addition to being allowed to wear clothes of his choice.
All right, let's talk about Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu's treasonable felony case, rather.
Felony case, yes.
March 19th, 20 set for crucial hearings. Now, I think this guy was picked up shortly after the Sowore situation. But his saga goes further, way beyond before Sowore even thought about going to run for presidency. I remember the scantiness of the news of him running, I think it was from Finland, a radio show that was potentially inciting people at the time. The independent people of Biafra, right? IPOB. So now he's dealing with this case. Where are we with this story, as far as you know? Where are we with this potential hearing coming up on March 1920?
Without prejudice to the processes that have been followed through in the law courts, I think the prosecution team, the government team, they are not really putting these things in proper perspective. To describe Nnamdi Kanu as a flight risk it's not factually correct. No? Yes, he was not factually correct. He was granted bail, but don't forget, people suspected to be acting at the behest of the state invaded his family's private estate. Yes, and then there were killings, and it was suspected that Nnamdi Kanu was the target of that covert operation. They had wanted to take him out. Why would they do that? Don't forget, this guy was born British, from what I understand. He is a British citizen, and also but of Nigerian heritage. So he's British Nigerian, but because of serial injustices against his people, because of some wars that was fought between 1967 and 70, the peace following that has not been properly managed. People from the Southeast continue to be marginalized, to be treated as if they are not part of the Nigerian project. Even when they aspire to the highest offices in the land, or the highest office in the land, they are told, they are not welcome. So these people decided to protest it all, but characteristically, Buhari adopted his unchanging strategy. He tried kidnapping Umaru Diko from Great Britain when he ran Nigeria as a military despot in those days. 1984, they tried to create him. They recruited suspected Mossad operatives, Secret Service agents of Israel. And don't forget, this is even an administration that was hostile towards Israel as a country. And what has changed about Buhari since then? They gave Nigeria this wrong image of being a state sponsor of a hostage taking, terrorism, and that is what they have done in the case of Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu again, kidnapped him from an event in Kenya with the shameless connivance of agents of the Kenyan state. Maybe he was drugged, whatever they did to him. Without his consent, they brought him to Nigeria. And then they begin to do all these legalese, rigmarole around the law. They find in him a game for entertainment, a human being reduced to a game that should entertain in their law circles. I do not understand. The simple thing to say, my conclusion arising therefrom is this. Tinubu should not own anybody's issues, should disinherit this process and find an urgent political solution to the entire thing, the way that of Omoyele Sowore was handled. Yes, Muhammadu Buhari decided to keep enemies list. Look at the way they almost ran Nigeria against the international community, banning Twitter, doing this and all that. They never changed.
For some reason, every time we mention President Muhammadu Buhari, the picture that pops in my head is him with the picking stick. What do you call it? The toothpick.
Yeah.
The toothpick in his mouth.
And his husky voice. He's never there. Even while sitting on the chair, he was not there. He was not there. He was not there. Yes, and all kinds of forces took over Nigeria under his watch. They told us the dummy that he was that has been a brilliant general. I don't see what is brilliant about him. Not as a tactician, not as a strategist.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Yes, people will run out us because of this, but that is my opinion, and that is what I'm giving out free. Buhari doesn't inspire anything in any. Yes, for free. It doesn't inspire anything in any of us. May we never.
I think a lot of people just they just kind of like they fantasized about the idea of Nigeria being policed back into discipline.
You remember Noko Song in those days when we worked together in Fort Lee, in New Jersey, promoting our newspaper African Post. He said, "Oh, Nigeria needed a benevolent dictator." And I told him, I compared between that and what Obafemi Awolowo said. Even the worst democracy in the world is still better than, far better than the so-called benevolent dictator.
Because humans don't respond well to that.
And unfortunately, that is what America is romanticizing with this idea of
with
trying
Trump.
to bring back. Yes, he's been condemned of
benevolent
rape.
dictator.
He's been condemned of financial fraud. He's been found guilty, facing more than 91 charges all over the entire. They said that is the man they want. Let them have him. The same way Nigerians had Buhari.
It's a fantasy.
Yes, the same way Nigerians asked for Buhari and they were given Shege. In fact, they handed Banza to it.
They were given so much Shege. 4 years later, they were confused. They said it must be 4.
Now, for Tinubu to save the image of his government, his administration, the party he leads that sponsored him into office, so that people will not begin to look at that party as a party that is always taking hostage. The international business people who came concerning Forex matter, they should let them go. They should let Nnamdi Kanu go.
We're gonna touch on that.
Yes, I'm having my voice to this call for. They shouldn't stretch. They shouldn't waste the people's money stuff anymore.
Yeah, the Kanu story is just a waste of people's money.
Yes, and the lawyers who are being contracted, who are not even officials of the Federal Ministry of Justice, Sanwo-Olu, all of them, they should hand off this. They are saying food for the boys.
Right.
That is Jekuje. It is irresponsible, whatever. I do not criticize them for presenting a legal representation, but when you begin to dine on the altar of injustice, you should be able to give yourself that red warning that this is not right. They should let the man go.
Okay, all right. Well, since you decided to touch on that really quickly, why don't we go ahead and just move into this next story? But before we do that, do us a favor: hit that like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. We're going to talk about the arrest of the Binance people in Nigeria, and we'll be back in 20 seconds. All right, welcome back. Binance hit with $10 billion order. Crypto giant faces Nigeria's wrath. So, there's this report on BBC.com. The Nigeria government says it has demanded almost $10 billion, 8 billion pounds, I guess, in compensation from the cryptocurrency firm Binance. It says Binance manipulated foreign exchange rates through current speculation and rate fixing, which have seen the naira lose nearly 70% of its value in recent months. 2 Binance executives were arrested in Nigeria earlier on in the week. Binance has not responded to the BBC's request for comment. Nigeria is Africa's biggest economy and also one of the world's biggest cryptocurrency market. On Tuesday, Nigeria's central bank governor Olayemi Cardoso said Binance Nigeria had moved $26 billion worth of untraceable funds. These allegations are weighty. Tilewa Adebajo CFG advisory tells the BBC. Adebajo.
Yeah.
That's a huge sum, even more than annual Nigeria diaspora remittances of $24 billion. Wait, that's how much we send every year? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so the government must have done their homework, hence the allegations. Have they done their homework? That's the question. Cryptocurrency transactions equivalent to about 12% of Nigeria's total income. Wow, that's a lot. Or GDP took place in the year of June 2023, according to Reuters news agency. Cryptocurrencies are not illegal in Nigeria, but firms must register in order to operate there, the government says. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. It's a long report, but since you mentioned the arrest.
Yes, this so-called requisite registration to operate by financial institutions in Nigeria, particularly as it touches on the crypto companies, Binance. Is it a law that has been in place? That's because they must take time to explain this to the entire world. Otherwise, they are going to create more complications, convolutions for the Nigerian system, that is the economy. They better watch out. Because in South, North financial dealings, what I mean, developing world versus the advanced economies of the world. When you pick on the citizens of some advanced countries the way Nigeria is doing, I don't think they will like it. The last time Idi Amin Dada of Uganda played politics with the interest of certain hostages. Remember the Entebbe airport disaster under Idi Amin Dada? And he turned Israeli hostages to bargaining chip.
You better know what you're doing if you're playing that kind of game.
Yeah, the world came. The world came after Idi Amin like the vengeance of God. I hope this is not where these people are dragging Nigeria too, because they want to take desperate measures. Binance was not at the table when these people decided
to
that
just arrest them.
Naira, that Naira must be floated. They are not. They are not tracing. You see, the African proverb says that, man with hunch on your back. Look, the thing you carry on your head is
can you repeat that? You said the African proverb says,
Mr. Hunchback, the man with the hunch on the back. The load you're carrying on your head is bent. He says, you're looking at what I'm having on my head. Why don't you look down, right? I mean, the structure of my body. So that is straight from Yoruba word. What I'm saying here is that we want to scapegoat so many individuals and interests all over the place. These people are accompanying our elected leaders, our military leaders, religious merchants, crisis beneficiaries, who have been the one internally working to sabotage the Nigerian system. So when I open shop for business wherever, and people decide to come all the way, like wise men from the East, to give patronage, in which way am I guilty? Any special invitation to them? So I hope it is not the same script that we are familiar with. Enact some laws now, some laws for present troubles, and then look for a way of making that law to work retroactively. Nigeria Nigeria has notoriety for things like that. And it would be a great infamy if the hostage tactics that has been extended, that has been deployed in the arrest of these Binance executives, is the best we can do in the circumstance. I do not know. But the entire thing must be revisited. The National Security Advisor, who I was told was the one who invited these individuals for the meeting in the presidential villa.
So they were invited for a meeting. It's not like they were just floating around Nigeria.
No. They were invited, allegedly. And they went there for a tete-a-tete to have meaningful discussion on how they would engage. I don't deal in crypto. I don't deal in things I do not understand, But truth be told, you cannot be fishing for people to take the fall when you run into trouble because of your own self-induced situations and policies. So, that said, Nigerian officials would have to tread carefully so that what is already bad in the circumstance will not be further compounded, will not be worsened any further.
Right, because these are behemoths in the world of finance today.
Oh yes,
around the world. So if you're going to, another angle that I'm seeing this from is any kind of threat to Nigeria not moving recklessly when it comes to their finances, when it comes to their forex exchange.
Yes,
can affect.
Ola, the way the international community is viewing this so-called 10 billion naira fine imposed against Binance is that
right.
It is almost like demanding ransom.
Yeah.
People, came for legitimate transaction, legitimate negotiation.
To have a conversation. Yeah.
And they, you treat them, you humiliate them like this.
Yeah.
Binance is not talking like BBC has reported, and we know they have not been talking because they just feel like you know what that means? When a child picks a stick or a wooden piece that is ant infested, those deadly ants, not the jeko, not the playful type.
Right.
And when it decides to come with all these kind of stings and bites, the child will drop it. So Nigeria should watch out for the backlash arising from this. This debacle. It is avoidable, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've noticed that the idea of assessing things before take action is a strange idea to Nigeria as a culture. It's all I've noticed it. Obviously there are things in place, even at the government, with government institutions, to do that, to assess things before they take action. But a lot of the people that are in these offices, they are not competent.
Yeah, I told you, the APC. You can understand the philosophy and ideology of APC through Muhammadu Buhari. Shoot first, then think later.
Jesus.
Shoot first, think later. That is the vision that Buhari gave to them, and that is what they continue to run.
That's crazy. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, and turn up your notifications so that you're notified when we do drop videos or go live. I appreciate you for doing so. We'll be back in about 20 seconds.
President telling the Nigerians that former President Buhari did well, served the of the president telling favor and let. The president should stop praising President Buhari. I watched live television program of the president telling the Nigerians that former President Buhari did well, served the nation. Let me say to you, that will cause a confusion in the minds of Nigerians. Yes, he's a member of your party. He's your leader. Sir, there are so many presentations.
Sorry, sir, before I continue this video, right? I feel like you want to laugh.
Yeah.
Do you want to just laugh before I continue playing?
Yes, because I watched former governor of Fayose.
Let me finish playing it. I just want to make sure that I'm not holding your laugh in too long.
That's all right.
Okay, all right. Let me finish playing.
You know that Mr. Fayose is trying to dodge the bullet there. He knows that. He was one of those.
I want to hear it. Let me finish playing him.
That's right. Can make without celebrating a man who has put Nigerians into this predicament. There are things we dare not be saying. You can visit him, you can greet him, you can love him, you can appreciate him. That is personal to the president with all due respect.
Lobato.
Coming to the television and saying former President Buhari did this, it was a blessing to Nigeria. Buhari is not a blessing to Nigeria.
Don't confuse us.
Your Excellency, don't due respect to me. You remember that I was courageous enough to confront President Buhari when he was in office. And without due respect to your person, I said to you, President Buhari was not a blessing.
Wait, how do you say to yourself, I was correct? Let us tell you if you're courageous now. So some people that don't wait, they don't wait for your. Some people don't wait for your compliment. They just give themselves.
It's because Fayose has forgotten the Ekiti saying that says,
remember, I was courageous.
Yeah.
Hold on now, Baba. Hold on now. Jesus.
Yeah.
It drew us back to 50 years of our history. Today, you are engaging individuals you are seen in public actions, even in your office. I am not saying this to patronize to Your Excellency. If you are not doing it the right way, we will say it. It's unfortunate. In your course of your run, you ran into murky waters. Stay out of President Buhari's mess. The situation in Nigeria today, let it be clear to Nigerians that, yes, I am the president. I asked for this job. I meant well. The economy that I met was a dead economy. Nobody can deny that. There's no miracle you can do in 9 months. Even if you are doing that miracle, let me say this to Nigerians as well. Nigerians are part of this mess. We are all guilty of this mess. The kind of government you have is a function of the people.
Absolutely.
Will President Tinubu be in every location in Nigeria to defend, to protect Nigerians? He has to rely on a number of people.
Absolutely.
He has to rely on individuals. Such individuals must be called to account. Is this President Tinubu?
Let me stop there. Let me let you take it on for Uncle Isaac Fayose from that place.
You see, also
the driving point, sir. Governor Fayose on Tinubu inherited dead economy from Buhari? ? Go ahead.
He inherited a troubled economy from Muhammadu Buhari, but with a simple declaration during his inauguration as president, when Bola Tinubu said subsidy is gone, yes, Bola Tinubu must accept responsibility for being the undertaker that finally buried the entire system, the entire economy. He made complaint of ambush. Fayose has legitimate claims to saying that Tinubu was ambushed, things were bad and all that. But you know, when a man with crazy ideas is nothing stuff in his mind, you only hear you will hear that through somebody who is doubly crazy. A wise man is nursing certain ideas. That idea is incubated in him, and then you see a fool coming into town, giving vent to that. That's what happened. I mean, between Tinubu and Buhari. That's the transaction. Buhari had said, "Oh, yes, this subsidy will go," but they were managing it. To stand tough, you know, the lion-hearted Tinubu got there and said, "Yes, subsidy is gone." That was the moment everything went all right for the Nigerian economy. Now back to Ayodele Fayose, Isaac Ayodele Fayose. When a man has done what is wrong, when you are at fault and you don't accept that fault, you may end up running over an entire enclave, an entire system. Yeah, you may run it over. You may be waging war. I mean, a battle that can be so bloody. People like Ayo Fayose, like the governor of Oyo State, Shehu Makinde, like Wike, the so-called Pack of Five, who mutinied against the leadership of their party to support Tinubu to come into power. They are reluctant to bite the humble pie. They don't want to acknowledge all this stuff, this interview. What's the essence?
So this is you are saying this is what
they are
doing
not
now is like
they are
like
not
they will shalaye tired.
They are not facing up to how they went into that conspiracy, that evil conspiracy
against PDP.
Yes, and then instead of maintaining dignified opposition, they couldn't manage the crisis within their party. They wanted it their way and their way alone. So the Southern presidency they were clamoring for, what has it translated into? I mean, what is the benefit for Nigeria now? That is why it is bad enough to look at things from narrow ethnic lens. That kind of prism they adopted. Oh, it is either the South or not. The president could come from anywhere. So long you have the brain, the mental magnitude, the mental presence to manage the system and then run a system that is humane.
But to be honest, sir,
yes.
to be honest, sir, the point he's making there is that one of the points he was making that there's no Tinubu or Buhari or any bad president without certain structures in society that brought them to power, that allows them to continue to perpetuate.
We are saying the same thing, but I mean, Ayodele Fayose must acknowledge the fact that he is one of those elements, one of those systems who sponsored this.
Tinubu,
who brought this upon Nigeria. I'm not going to dissipate too much energy about that.
I see.
Somehow, I admire Ayodele Fayose at times as a man who loves his people. When I first went to Nigeria, I sneaked into Nigeria in those days, and I saw what he had accomplished. Right before Governor Shehu, I broke down in tears, and I asked. They said this guy did not do anything. And they said he worked, but the contrivance, he resisted people who wanted him to put the monthly allocation of Ekiti State on the table instead of working for the people. He worked for the people. And forget the facade. Anyway, what you see in Ayodele Fayose, is what you get. Yeah. I remember when he was to run again for office, the last time I went there, we were in his house in Afao Ekiti. And I was right with my personal assistant, because of my visual challenge. I always go with my...
You have people with you.
Yes. And I was with him. I was in that house, not as a compromised reporter, no. But I was standing with Larry Olayinka, his trusted Man Friday. And, there was this fellow who used to be very active on social media from London then. And he posted something on Facebook to the effect that Larry Olayinka had just been arrested in Igbemo Ekiti with ballot boxes. I looked at my peer, I looked at my production crew. I said, is it not the same Larry Olayinka that is standing with me? So, that day, I knew so many lies had been cooked up and told about Ayodele Fayose. But no lie is being told against him now in this matter.
This one with his own mouth, is courageous mouth.
Yes. He should not tell us. That's why I went into the Ekiti dictum to say, Uru dede nyirare lobe. Otekari, Oshomo.
Iru dede nyirare lobe.
Yeah, local.
Iru okindede nyirare ni obe.
Nínú ọbẹ̀ pé the condiment in your soup, locust beans, telling the whole world, I'm so super inside this soup. No, when people eat that soup,
that's when we find out. We will tell you how sweet this soup is.
He is a courageous man. In truth, every inch of the way, initially he opposed Buhari.
He drags everybody.
He tried. He tried, but he should leave that judgment to history and those of us who document history. Yes. Let posterity. But part of that judgment will be that he also was an enabler to bring Tinubu on the stage. That he betrayed his party. And he's been standing tough.
I have to agree with him, sir, on this one point. I agree with everything you said. Because I don't trust him. I don't trust Baba Fayose. It comes off as a person I don't trust. I don't know why. But I have to agree with him that the type of president that a nation ends up with is basically a function of the type of people in the society.
That's right.
I have to agree with him on that, But like you said, he's the courageous. He will. Look at one of the key sponsors of Bola Tinubu, the man who went to pick a quarrel with a customs team somewhere, threatening to kill the custom official who took who waylaid and seized the contraband from his operating. That guy, I was told, and from the confirmations I got, was one of those who, the report was filed by one Shoyombo with, I think, Investigative Journalism Foundation or something like that. I was told that guy
was one of those big spenders for APC and Bola Tinubu, and that he actually was involved in nominating the former Controller General for custom service. You have all kinds of people with questionable activities and their background getting involved in government, and you say you want to drive investment, you want to drive development. Good luck. May they succeed at it.
All right. That's all we have for you today. We're trying to do better with time, in addition to the fact that we were quite constrained today to do so. So I think it's a good thing, regardless. But we've covered quite a bit today. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe.
Yeah, and just before we leave,
sure,
please, people should not misunderstand our hallowed calling, our constitutionally protected position as journalists, and the people who do not only report but also give constructive criticism. We are not in any way malicious, and we are not any way thinking of pulling down anybody. I've had the sentiment from some people who themselves have laughable views, not just about every other person, but about themselves. They said, "Oh, for criticizing the wife of Akeredolu or one Olori, that I have this attitude of coming after respectable women and what have you."
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Nobody can take it anyway. I'm on the set with my nephew. Nobody can take it with me. How I respect elders, how I respect women, how I respect, and I have been at the forefront of championing causes for women everywhere. Mama Titi Agenaku is still alive. She can bear me out. When she was a special advisor to the president of Nigeria on women affairs, Dr. Mrs. Josephine Aneni, she is there. Mrs. Pauline Talent, all of them. I work closely with them. And when a governor decided to disrespect the former aviation minister in Nigeria, who was a woman, I picked the gauntlet and defended her. So for this individual to say I disrespect women and all that, that's not true. But I maintain that position. You cannot hijack the instrument of governance from your elected husband and behave as if you are the one that had been given that sacred mandate. No. Nepotism is evil. It does not matter whether it is giving a woman undue advantage or not. So that is the point that we have made everywhere. And everybody knows that Akeredolu served the interests of his wife, his children first, before considering the people who elected him into office. May so find sweet repose. Concerning the other person they said I've never heard of an Olori attempting to sack kingmakers. Talking of dismantling the cabinet. Which cabinet? Is it that of local government, state, or presidency? And as a kingmaker anyway, I have never been paid. It's just a honor done me, which I appreciate and which I've used to give in credible and maximum and optimal advantage to the people of the town where I was born. That said, let nobody try to create mischief where none exists. I do not have any personal grudge against any of these people. And I appreciate them, love them so dearly. But that love must mean that we give a better and greater deal to the vast majority of our people, to our citizens at all times. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm gonna plead your indulgence to give me the last word on this one, and I'll be nice. It's not enough to use emotionalism or to point out how you've been emotionally affected by any rhetoric from our opinions. That's not enough. You have to tell us why. you have to, if you disagree with an opinion, you have to tell us why. You can't just go, I'm talking to the audience, you can't just go and say it seems as if you hate women. You can't. If you say stuff like that, it'll get to a point where we will ignore you because there's no point there.
Certainly. Yeah.
You have to your opinions are welcome at any point in time, but you have to avoid any type of shaming tactics because it's just not going to fit into the profile of the show, of what we're doing here. All opinions are welcome. You have to back it up. Say, okay, me too, I am a smart, intelligent person. I feel this way about this, that. It has nothing to do with the persons. Right? So there's, from our take so far, thus far, what I remember about that conversation, there was a lot of leeway that was given to that woman. It's just that she did not help us. Her tribute was full of nothing.
Invectives.
That's it. Okay? If that makes you feel like somebody is attacking women because you connect it with the story of the Olori, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we can't help you because your argument is not backed with anything. That's just a feeling. Back it up and let's have a conversation around it. Nonetheless, we appreciate your audience. All right. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, and follow so you're notified every time we drop videos and we go live. We'll see you on the next one, and peace.